We're going to begin now. Please turn off all electronic devices at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, and gentlemen, remove your caps for the singing of the national anthem, followed by the alma mater sung by the MHS Meister Singers. Welcome, fellow graduates, parents, grandparents, and friends. My name is Ryan Sugnet, and I am the class president. I'd first like to congratulate all of my classmates sitting here at the 138th Midland High commencement ceremony. I want to welcome and thank the Midland School Board of Education for coming out tonight. Trustees Ms. Kimberly Vanderkellen and Mrs. Yvonne Gorton, Vice President Mrs. Lynn Baker, and President Mr. Jared L. Wasserman. Another thank you to Dr. Kathy Ellison and Mr. Gary Verlindi, our Associate Superintendents, Mrs. Greif, our Principal, and Mr. Mulvaney, our Commencement Speaker, for being here on this special day. On behalf of the 2013 class, we'd like to thank Mr. Brian Ellerbrock and Mr. Brian Reinhardt for being outstanding and competitive class advisors. We have won float building for 3 years in a row. What an accomplishment that is. Also, we've had 4 great, memorable years of hall decorating that include Pokemon, The Wizard of Oz, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the best, Star Wars. Reflecting back 13 years ago when we entered kindergarten in 1999, the price of gas was only $1.19 a gallon, and the Backstreet Boys were the top hit. Back then, this day seemed so far away. But now that we look back, it all happened so quickly and the years have flown by. Take a second and think about everything that has happened to you over the past years and everyone who's made an impact on you. How much you have changed even from middle school to now. If you think about it, a lot has happened over the years while we've been in school. So much has happened in such a small amount of time. Although this is a time of reflection, it also begins a new chapter in our lives. This is a big turning point in our lives where everyone takes different paths. Good luck to everyone in the path you take, wherever that may lead you. Thank you for all the memories. The first speaker of the night will be Maxime Narker. At Midland High, he's been involved in Key Club, the girls' varsity basketball manager, and track and field the past 3 years, was on homecoming court junior year, and finished his fall out by participating in cross country. Next year, Max will attend Delta Community College for 2 years, then transfer to Central Michigan University to study sports broadcasting. His dream announcing job would be for the Detroit Tigers. As many of you know, Max did not just participate in activities, but was present at almost every single sporting event held. He would always be down in the front yelling at the student section to get loud and would start cheers. He has tremendous chemic pride and will be telling you about what chemic pride truly means. I'm proud to introduce to you Max Narker.
Thank you, Ryan, for that. Thank you, Ryan, for that nice introduction. I am so excited that the graduation committee asked me to speak to you about what it means to be a chemic. Here's what I think makes us chemics. Chemics are enthusiastic. One thing I like about Midland High is that we are loud and proud. School assemblies, the band marching in the hallways, and the student sections during football and basketball games are memories I will always keep because they represent our chemic pride and our class. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Chemics are really involved. I've really enjoyed my time here at MHS because there's always something to do and ways for me to be involved. From sports teams and music groups to photography and Key Club, there's activities for everyone. Chemics are helpful and generous. Another way we show chemic pride is by being helpful to other people. The amount of help doesn't even have to be that much. It could be something really small, like one day between second and third hour, I dropped my folder and someone stopped to help me get my papers back into it. Or it could be something big, like when our student council organizes a fundraiser for Kids Against Hunger. Chemics are positive and care about each other. Probably the best thing I like about Midland High is that there are so many nice people who care about you and want you to succeed in life. Like Mrs. Greif, who's going to outlive us all. She's always positive and concerned about everyone's well-being. I think that's also a big part of chemic pride. We are so lucky that there are a lot of really helpful people here at MHS. And as chemics, this isn't going to stop just because we aren't in high school anymore. A wise woman once told me that we're only a phone call, text message, tweet, or Facebook message away, so remember that. Also, be sure to thank the people who have helped you, especially your families, for all their support and dedication the last 4 years. So to me, chemics are enthusiastic, involved, helpful, generous, positive, and kind, all of which makes chemic pride a very special tradition. Thank you.
My name is Grace Potter, and I'm here to introduce one of our student commencement speakers, Emma Moore. I suppose many of you have already seen her on stage. She's been an active member of drama club since entering middle school. Emma made her acting debut in the lead role in Annie in 6th grade and was immediately hooked. By the time she left middle school, she'd left quite a mark on the Northeast Drama Club, having starred in every place she could. Emma went on to excel as an actress, landing several lead roles her freshman year of high school and reprising her star turn as Annie sophomore year. As she developed as an actress, she continued to impress people on and off stage. She got involved in forensics and has done dramatic interpretations every year of high school. Recently, she won the Forensics Award at the Senior Awards Ceremony at MHS and placed second for a dramatic interpretation duo and an acclaimed statewide forensics competition. And despite these accomplishments, she's maintained the same classically Emma interests. She loves wearing dresses, eating pizza and popcorn, petting sheep, and singing her heart out. She's a great listener, a loyal friend, and one of the most truly empathetic people I've ever met. Anderson University will be the lucky recipient of her talents next year. It is my pleasure to welcome one of my best friends to the podium, Emma Moore.
Before I start, I'd first like to say thank yous for people who helped me with my speech. Gracie, thank you for the introduction, and I would like to thank my friends Leah, Kayla, Amelia, Terry, Hejun, Sydney, and Dallin for their help with my speech and always being there for me, no matter what. I would like to thank Mr. Demko, Ms. Hutchinson, my Meister family, and the Weber family for their help and being great examples for me in my life. I would like to thank Mrs. Jones for all her great help with my speech and for saving me from all my grammatical errors, and especially Mr. Worley and Mrs. Murphy for sitting with me day after day until my speech felt right. And then I would like to thank my parents for everything they've done for me, my sister Maggie for taking me out for pizza today and giving me fuel for the speech, my sister Gabby, who is my writing inspiration, my brother Chris for always being there for my big moments in life, and then my awesome grandparents who drove down to watch me tonight and whom I love so much. Welcome, friends, and welcome everyone who's come to watch us graduate and who have noticed since we were in diapers. Well, that time has passed, and now we're about to make our way into the world of being adults. Around this time, with all the grad parties and graduations, I've heard many people tell our class how old we look and how much we've matured. Sadly, I still look exactly the same as I did when I was a freshman. I bet some, when I walked up to the podium, were wondering what a 12-year-old was doing on stage. After being a senior for a year, I've realized how much people make fun of freshmen. But if you think about it, it's not easy to transition into this school. We have 2 gyms. Our main floor is called the second floor, which always mess me up. We have a hall called Eyeball Alley. The doors are always locked, so you have to walk around the school from the band lot to the main doors. And there are so many elements of the school that you never knew were there. Just last week, Mr. Worley and Mrs. Murphy informed me that apparently, until recently, we had an auto shop. I've been going to the school for 4 years and I never knew that existed. Another thing that our school has that we really invest in and celebrate is Spirit Week. We do hall decorating, float building, and yell nights that as a freshman are pretty intimidated. But we ended up getting the hang of it and winning float building 3 years in a row. And let's just say for hall decorating, we had some really good ideas and a lot of fun. This year, hall decorating resulted in the best paper Yoda of all time. Although we came in as freshmen having no idea what we were doing, through all the special traditions Midland High does, such as yell night, hall decorating, and even man pageants with bear calls, they taught us teamwork, courage, strength, perseverance, and those experiences helped us discover and develop all the little talents that make up who we are and who we are going to be. I don't know if you guys have noticed this yet, but we have a very talented class. We have some people in our class who are great athletes who are going to make it professionally, and we have some who balance that out and who are not so athletic, like Mr. Worley's 7th hour class. Many of us already know that we are going to be writers, programmers, artists, singers, and then there's the other 95%, including myself, who, because of varied experiences we've explored here, have no idea what we want to do, and that's okay. Over the last 4 years, our class has accomplished a lot of different achievements. We were part of the district champions for football, girls basketball, and many other different sports. We participated in state championships for singing, forensics, swimming, drama, and not to mention, our class had the best rap DMCs ever. If we've learned one thing these past 4 years, it's that our high school is definitely unique. What other high school can say they have a teacher who acts out stories for them, or has a teacher who is recognizable just by rubbing his hands together? Or a teacher who is obsessed with pigs and sings to kids in the hallways? Or even teachers who sit with a kid for many days after school and help her on her commencement speech. And to the teachers and staff who are graduating with us this year, thank you for all you've done for your students. What makes you so wonderful is that you have gone above and beyond what a normal high school teacher would do and have shown you actually care about us and value us. Thank you for all you have done and all the work you have poured into your career. All our teachers root for us no matter what. An English teacher once told me, our teachers always want us to get what we want from life, to win, and to believe what is best in life. They've taught me throughout the past 4 years what a great adult is and how to be a successful person in the future. We've been waiting for this moment for so long, but I'm not really sure how to feel right now. This may be one of the biggest milestones in our lives, and this is what we've been working towards for a long time. A long time. We've gone a long way from being little freshmen to being an upperclassman and making fun of the little freshmen to finally becoming seniors. This year, we've all gone through filling out applications, struggling to get our homework done as a second semester senior, and preparing to take on responsibility of the real world. This class has formed everlasting friendships that will stay with us our whole lives, and no matter where we go, we will always have something in common these past 4 years. As Dr. Seuss once said, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." I smile because of the great memories I've made here, but just think about all the new experiences that are waiting for us in the future. I remember the first time I came to Midland High, and I was scared out of my mind. I had no idea where to go. Now I look at the school and think to myself, dude, this school is a square. How do you get lost in a square? And I believe that's how we are going to be in the future. Right now, the real world looks unbearably scary, but Midland High has prepared us just for that, and we are going to end up being okay. Together, we make up the Midland High class of 2013, and thanks to Midland High School, we are ready to face the world and make our mark. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hannah Fisher, and it is my honor tonight to introduce you to Joseph Ryan, whom I have known since we were in elementary school together at Plymouth. Joseph David Ryan has accomplished many things in his 4 years at Midland High, the most memorable of them being making symphonic band, where he plays the saxophone. He is also a member of the National Honor Society and an Eagle Scout. This year, he received the Chester L. Cones Award for his interest and achievements in social studies, particularly psychology. Joey plans on continuing his study of psychology and computer science next year at Michigan Tech University. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joseph Ryan.
Thank you, Hannah. And I want to congratulate you all on being here today. This day represents almost 2 decades of hard work and preparation, so we can all finally say, I did it, and I'm ready. We're about to enter a new world, a world that we have come to know as the real world. It's a world filled with new possibilities, a world with new challenges, new responsibilities, and new freedoms. It's a world we have desired to reach for a very long time. And it brings up the question, where am I going to be in 10 years? Ask yourselves that right now. Where are you going to be in 10 years? Now let me change the question just a little bit. Where do you want to be in 10 years? See, that's a completely different question because one implies where you will be, and the other implies where your dreams want you to be. Well, my real question for all of you tonight is, what is your dream? What is it you want for your future? Is it to be a rock star? A lawyer, maybe? Maybe it's to raise a family in Michigan. Or maybe it's to go to some other place. Whatever it is, it's your start to this new world. I had a dream. It was the year after I was diagnosed with depression, and it just started to settle down. I was coming from a hard year in the 5th grade, and I was looking towards the future. I was looking for something different, something to occupy my mind. A friend of mine invited me to a scout troop at Northeast and said I would enjoy it. At the time, I hadn't been exposed to scouting and kind of thought the idea was dumb. But I went anyway. I remember people welcomed me and were excited that I was there. But what I remember most were the 3 high schoolers. They had just been announced as the newest Eagle Scouts to the troop, and that they had received a tremendous accomplishment. I remember the looks on their faces, a look of satisfaction, a feeling of accomplishment, and true happiness. It was something that I wanted. And I felt something stir up inside me that I had not felt in a very long time. A sense of purpose, something to shoot for, I wanted to experience what those boys felt. I wanted to be an Eagle Scout. See, dreams don't have to be big, fantastic things. Dreams are anything that bring you a sense of accomplishment and require you to do more than the ordinary to achieve something extraordinary. My dream was to be an Eagle Scout, but it was not going to be easy. I had to push myself in ways that I didn't know I could. I had to get past my brick walls. Brick walls are the obstacles that we all face in our lives. They stop us from where we want to go and try to force us to give up on what we are striving to accomplish. No brick wall is impenetrable. There's always a way around it. It may feel impenetrable, but you can find a way. My brick wall started in the 7th grade. My friends that I had been scouting with for a year now had started to leave. Something came up or they lost interest, but one by one they left. And the pressure to leave myself was increasing, but I did not stop. I would not let that pressure stop me from reaching my goal. When the 8th grade came around, though, I had truly hit my second brick wall, myself. My depression had resurfaced and was making everything very hard. It's hard to keep motivated when you're not happy and when you feel the world itself is against you. But I kept pushing forward, taking it one day at a time. It is truly, as they say, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. A brick wall is hard to pass, but with perseverance, you can do it. I surpassed this brick wall and was looking towards what I thought was my final challenge, the Eagle Scout project. It was a big open project with the intent of leaving an impact. It was a big deal. It was also my next brick wall. My first and second ideas were shot down by the council. It's extremely demoralizing to have something that you want to do get rejected. But I did not stop. I found something that I wanted to do and was acceptable by the council. I surpassed this brick wall only to hit more. My troop had a new scoutmaster step in. He started to change what felt like everything, and it made it impossible to do anything. To add to it, the paperwork for my project kept getting sent back with new requirements and what felt like random things that I had to do to even start my project. The brick wall kept getting bigger and bigger, and it was getting harder and harder to pass. The situation required me to do things that were hard and seemed unlikely. You start to ask yourself, if so-and-so can't do it, how can I? I did what any determined person would do. Took it one day at a time. And time really does fix things. I eventually found a way around this brick wall. And on November 30th, 2010, I achieved my dream. I felt that satisfaction that those boys felt years ago. And from that dream, I built new dreams that I know I can accomplish today. That is my wish for you. That when you guys encounter the brick walls of your lives, that you do not give up and stop and retreat because it seems impossible to go forward, but you find a way around them. Think about your role models for a second. The people we choose as role models all had brick walls in their lives that were hard for them to overcome. They surpassed those challenges in incredible ways. And I know you can too. Dreams are the goals that lead our lives. They drive what we do, representing our hopes, our passions, our accomplishments. Dreams are what help define us. They make us human. They give us purpose. Always remember to follow your dreams. No matter what life throws at you, keep pushing forward. Determination and conviction are key in reaching your dreams. You are more amazing than you can ever realize, and you have infinite capabilities. I will repeat that. You have infinite capabilities. You are infinitely powered in what you can accomplish and dream. All dreams are possible. Any dream is plausible. All it takes is time, determination, and you. You will encounter brick walls in your life. Do not let them stop you. Keep pushing forward, and you will succeed. If you only take one thing from this tonight, remember this: never give up on your dreams. I want to leave you now with the words of H. Jackson Brown, Jr. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. I want to congratulate you all on this tremendous accomplishment, and I wish you good luck on many more to come.
Thank you, Joey. Hello, my name is Michael Wright, and tonight I have the honor of introducing your keynote speaker, Mr. John Mulvaney. Mr. Mulvaney graduated from Central Michigan University with a Bachelor of Science in Business, a Bachelor of Science in Social Studies, and a Master's in Business Administration. In his career, he has taught for 15 years, all of them at Midland High. Mr. Mulvaney has taught economics, history of the Americas, and 20th century world topics. He's also been a football coach both here at Midland High and at Meridian High School as well. He has been one of my teachers the last 3 years, and the fact that he teaches so many courses has allowed him to get to know many of the students in the class of 2013. From day one, Mr. Mulvaney expects a lot out of his students, and he is definitely a factor in the great academic tradition here at Midland High. He's also the only teacher I've ever had that tried to threaten to make me do push-ups for talking out of turn. I guess that's just the football coach. In my life, and I'm sure that many others could agree, Mr. Mulvaney has played a huge role in preparing me for the next chapter, both as a student and as a person. So without further ado, please join me in giving a warm welcome to tonight's commencement speaker, Mr. John Mulvaney.
Thanks, Michael, for that kind introduction, and thank you to the graduation committee for inviting me here today. The story that you are about to hear is 98.7% true. 4 minutes and 38 seconds. That is all the time I had left, and the seconds kept ticking off. I was 20 years old and an exchange student traveling the Moscow subway system. I had rushed to make the train, but just missed it. As the door slammed shut, my backpack slipped out of my hands onto the tracks below. 3 minutes, 45 seconds. As I watched the tail end of the train disappear, I eyed the countdown timer placed above every passageway. 3 minutes, 40 seconds, until the next train pulled into the station. My backpack was clearly visible between the tracks, a good distance below the platform. My money and passport, and therefore my freedom, were all inside. Once the next train arrived, I was sure the whole sack would be smashed to pieces. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. I crouched near the edge of the railway, using the Pythagorean theorem for the first and last time since high school. I figured it was about 7 feet to the bottom of the tunnel. If I jumped down, I should be able to grab the backpack and pull myself up to the edge before being crushed by 40 tons of steel. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. It was now or never. If I didn't go right away, there wouldn't be enough time. I crouched again at the edge of the platform as I made the decision to go for it and leap onto the track below. Just at that moment, a middle-aged man approached from behind and tapped me on the shoulder. "Think through what you are about to do," he said. Not saying stop, but not saying go either. Just think about the gravity of the situation and how to best go forward. As I stood up, thinking how to respond, I noticed the countdown. 1 minute, 40 seconds before the next train. Too late to do anything now. A moment later, it came flying in. As it left, I saw for the first time the warning sign on the wall across the track. It read, "Danger, high voltage." Then it hit me. The electric shock would have killed instantly, even before I had the chance to pull myself up onto the platform. That man had saved my life. He was a hero. Even though he was never in the newspaper and never received a medal, I didn't even thank him. I still remember his simple words of wisdom, a small action that nevertheless allowed me to pay his kindness forward. I got my backpack too. It turns out they have special tools for the job, because lots of people are always dropping things as they rush through life. I imagine you have your own heroes who have helped you into the spotlight today. A group of chemics, 359 strong, about to walk across this stage and become graduates, Midland High alumni. That has a great ring to it, doesn't it? Midland High alumni. You succeeded through your own extraordinary efforts, but also from the thoughtful actions of many heroes along the way. Today is a time to look with great anticipation to the arrival of new opportunities, but it is also important to reflect on the heroes that helped you get this far. Recall your performances over the past nearly 2 decades of your life, in the classroom, on the playing field, at the theater. Who has inspired you? Set the stage in your mind, and now one by one, have those heroes of your life step onto it. As we think of these heroes, many real and maybe some fictional, it seems their words always have just the right punch. These expressions are often enough to make us persevere, regardless of the occasional glitches in our lives. Now, this is your chance to participate coming up here. There's very little interaction until all the graduates' names are called out. Right, Ms. Hutchinson? Ms. Hutchinson is the organizer-in-chief, always does a great job. So, get ready to play, name that hero, okay? Yell out the answer if you know who said each of these inspiring quotes. I'm not kidding, I'm collecting participation slips at the end of the speech here, okay? All right, first one. With great power comes great responsibility. Most recently from Spider-Man. Second one. Are you guys ready? Okay, let's roll. Final words of 9/11 passenger Todd Beamer on United Flight 93. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt, very good. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. The Beatles, of course. All right, 2 more here. It's okay to be a little bit crazy. Just don't do anything stupid. I'm not done yet. We want to talk with you on Monday, not about you. Remember, it's always the right time to do the right thing. And this is right. This last one is from the most powerful Avenger of all. Be home before midnight and drive carefully. By the way, is your homework done? Yes, that is your parental unit. Now wait a second. Can your mom or dad be just as heroic as Spider-Man? The answer is yes. Parents of the graduating class of 2013, I salute you. You did it. You have fulfilled your responsibility to develop an educated citizen against what may have felt at times like the roaring engine of an oncoming locomotive. So, students, for all they have done for you, join me in giving the loudest chemic salute of all time. Parents, family, and friends, here is your chemic salute! Very nice. Yes, graduates, your parents are heroes. In fact, all of us have the potential to be heroic. Heroes can be everyday people who find themselves in an extraordinary circumstance and somehow rise to the occasion. These regular people may be the most inspiring because they aren't academic, athletic, or spiritual superstars. They are just like us. And so their heroic actions are a reminder that each and every one of us has the potential to be like them. It can be as simple as saving a naive tourist from jumping onto a 1,000-volt track. The following traits are highlighted in Allison and Gethel's book, Heroes, What They Do and Why We Need Them. Can you match some of these characteristics to your own personal heroes? Heroes are wise, courageous, moral, and compassionate. They are charismatic, resilient, and loyal. And perhaps most importantly, they inspire. Heroes are not just physically strong, but also just and ethical. At the critical moment, they do what is right while showing both bravery and competence. Heroes have at their core the drive and the ability to achieve. It's not easy being a hero. There will be sacrifice, but often it's the struggle itself that is heroic. But remember that no matter how challenging these obstacles, we each have the capacity to go beyond who and what we are right now. The things that often hold us down are our own preconceptions and the prejudging that others impose on us. When Batman puts on his mask, when Superman puts on his cape, they detach and protect themselves from these restrictions. They are telling us that when we ignore the limitations that society puts on us, when we release ourselves from our self-imposed constraints, We can leap over tall buildings in a single bound. We can get a parking spot right next to MHS. It is important that we have heroes in our lives because they set a high bar for themselves and then dare us to join them. They are the model that we endeavor to emulate. Heroes motivate us to work toward great accomplishments and perform selfless acts that improve the world around us. So, where can we find these heroes? Heroes are not born, they are made through tremendous effort and perseverance. The surest path to heroism involves applying a high level of optimism to both serving others and beating adversity, but it also requires many hours of hard work. It is estimated that skills must be developed for 10,000 hours before greatness begins to emerge. 10,000 hours. That's almost as long as a first-hour history class. Or worse, a physics class at any time of the day. Now, counting middle school, you have been in class the past 7 years for over 10,000 hours. I added it up. The good news is you are an expert student in the Midland Public Schools. The bad news, today the timer restarts at 0 as you graduate and move on to a whole new experience. Each of you has the power to be heroic. The development of heroes follows a universal but flexible blueprint that can be applied to your own unique talents and challenges. In the final stage of this process, the hero is transformed significantly and returns home, having become stronger from the experience. It took Odysseus 10 long years, but in the end, he defeated the Cyclops. He outwitted the Sirens and eluded Poseidon to return to Ithaca. The classic epic journey. Freshman English, anybody? Freshman English. The next phase of your own odyssey will begin just a few minutes from now, and it is possible to enter it as a hero. This may sound like an impossible challenge to you. Do you really have the heroic traits required? I say yes, as I have seen them inside many of you. Charisma, courage, passion, and even sometimes wisdom. And you have very much inspired me these past few years. 9 minutes, 13 seconds. The countdown continues as your time here at Midland High is about to end with you holding a diploma firmly in your hands. As you wait at the edge of this platform with your next ride fast approaching, allow me to tap you on the shoulder to give one small piece of advice. Think through what you are about to do. Savor this moment. But as you go forth, honor your own personal heroes by seizing the opportunity to be someone else's. Remember that great heroes beget other great heroes. Good leaders help shape their followers into leaders. You don't need to be as incredible as the Hulk or as great a warrior as Wonder Woman to defend all that is good. And I'm not asking you to be in the lead all the time. But don't settle being content with mediocrity. Instead, aspire to be heroic and exceed even your own expectations. Now, you may need to ask your parents about the singer Tina Turner. She had a lot of great songs, but one was wrong. We do need another hero, you. Today, we honor the heroes of Midland High, the seniors of the graduating class of 2013. Go Chemics!
Thank you, Mr. Mulvaney. My name is Zoe Bucci, and it is my absolute pleasure to be a member of this commencement committee and this graduating class. However, I am even more honored to be standing before you right now to welcome our principal, Mrs. Janet Greif. Mrs. Greif has been in education for 18 years now and has worked in elementary schools and middle schools prior to her past 3 years at Midland High School. She received both of her degrees from Saginaw Valley State University and is continuing her education at SVSU through the Gerstacker program. When I asked Mrs. Greif what her favorite part of being our principal was, she answered, watching students reach the height of their achievements, whether it be academically, athletically, or in whatever they choose to pursue. Well, I think we can all agree that without your support, none of that would be possible. With all that being said, please give a warm welcome to our principal, Mrs. Janet Greif.
Thank you, Zoe, for that nice introduction. Good evening, parents, board members, family, friends, staff, and most importantly, our 359 graduates. Every year I'm on the lookout for a theme for this speech. A couple of months ago, my husband and I received a gift, a book entitled The Dash, Making a Difference with Your Life. It's by Mac Anderson, and it's based on a poem entitled The Dash by Linda Ellis. There are various meanings to the word dash. In cooking, you may use a dash of spice in your favorite recipe. Then, of course, there's the 100-yard dash. But tonight, I'm speaking about the dash that takes place of a word when connecting two dates. For instance, George Washington, President of the United States, 1978, 1978, wow, where did I go to school? Wow, not at Midland High, obviously. United States, 1789-1797. The little mark in between the dates, that's the dash I'm talking about. This is an inspirational poem that gives the basic guidelines of a life well lived in 239 words, and I'd like to share it with you right now. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that the first came the date of her birth and spoke the following date with tears, for he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth, and not only those who loved her knew what that dash was worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters most is how we live and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way that other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they said about you, how you spent your dash? Throughout all of our lives, there are many dashes. Since you started school 13 years ago, there have been countless people that have been a part of your K-12 education. Your parents, family, friends, teachers, many of them right here this evening in the gym. But from 2013 to the next big event in your life, you are in charge of what that dash looks like. But tonight, we're going to focus on a special dash, the year that was 2012-2013, which is the story of the class of 2013. This class showed great service and philanthropy with involvement in food drives, Toys for Tots, Kids Against Hunger, Adopt a Family, American Cancer Society, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Lunchbox Learners. We have our famous bell ringers with the Salvation Army. And actually, Midland High regularly has the largest number of high school blood donors in the region. And this year we recognized 8 seniors who received the Distinguished Honor Donors of Life Award. Our school newspaper, The Focus, won its 21st Spartan Award, along with 38 additional awards. That is something, we can applaud that. That is amazing. That was the most awards ever. In the world of sports, we were the Saginaw Valley League champions in boys soccer and girls track, and we were co-champions in hockey. We were district champs in boys basketball and league and district champs in both football and volleyball, with football going undefeated. You can clap. I know all you football players want to clap. That was amazing. We had regional and state qualifiers in wrestling, cross country, and girls and boys track and boys golf. 3 of our senior athletes graduated in January and headed off to college early on Division I scholarships. This senior class produced 3 Saginaw Valley Most Valuable Award winners, and just the senior class alone generated 103 Saginaw Valley All-Academic Certificates. It is impressive. Our building trade students built a handicapped accessible duplex. Our welding students took 6 first-place awards at the Michigan Industrial Technology Education Society and 2 first-placed at SATES. BPA and DECA competed at the regional, state, and national levels. Our students competed at the American Computer Science League All-Star Contest in Raleigh, North Carolina, and missed first place by 1 point, being edged out by a team from Romania. Drama, band, orchestra, and choir performances received superior ratings. Our choir performance received first place at the Music in the Parks competition in St. Louis, Missouri. Our Quiz Bowl team won the region and then took 2nd place in the state. And for the first time, we participated in the Brain Bee, and a Midland High student took first place at CMU. We have students who have received awards too numerous to name tonight in math, English, forensics, debate, science, social studies, robotics, and art. I am proud to announce that we have 4 young men and 1 woman who have chosen to serve our country in the military. Yep, I think we should applaud that. Most definitely. There are 2 statistics that we are extremely proud of. Over 28% of the class in front of you are graduating with a weighted GPA of 3.8 or higher. And even more impressive, they have received over $6 million in scholarships. Yep. Think how happy all the mom and dads are about that. In closing, I'd like to read a couple lines from the book. It is not the things you get, but the hearts you touch that will determine your success in life. Making a difference in the life of others is what the dash is all about. In the end, however, the significance of your life will be determined by the choices that you make. You can choose positive over negative, smiles over frowns, giving over taking, or love over hate. Remember, it is only when you take responsibility for your choices that you begin to realize that you are the masters of your own fate, the masters of your own dash. It is the hope of the entire staff at Midland High that your dash may be filled with passion, service, appreciation, adventure, success, love, health, and happiness. And always remember that you, the class of 2013, will always be a part of the dash that is the history of Midland High School. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Gray. Good evening. I'm Anna Lunsford, and I'm very pleased to present to you Mrs. Yvonne Gorton, the Vice President of the Midland Public Schools Board of Education. Mrs. Gorton graduated from Michigan State University. She has been employed by the state of Michigan as a counselor for adult offenders for the Michigan Department of Corrections since 1989. One of her daughters previously graduated from Midland High School, and tonight she is proud to watch as her second daughter walks across the stage with us. Please join me in a warm welcome for Mrs. Yvonne Gorton, who is officially presenting the class of 2013.
Thank you, Anna. On behalf of the Midland Public Schools Board of Education, I am pleased and honored to accept the 138th Midland High School graduating class, the class of 2013. Mrs. Baker will join me now for the presentation of diplomas.
Catherine Elizabeth Adam. Nicholas Dwight Ade. Taylor Zachary Aguirre. Alicia Ann Allen. John Richard Foxton Ames. Caitlin Renee Arn. Gabrielle Hannah Axtell. Matthew Aaron Baker. Paige Lizzie Barber. Matthew Michael Behrens. Mitchell James Behrens. Tyler Alexander Berry. Cody Jarrett Bauer. Hannah Sue Bauer. Jared Mark Beach. Matthew Myers Beal. Lorelei Nicole Beasley. Maura Rayanne Becker. John William Beery. Matthew David Bender. Deborah Ruth Berry. Sydney Paige Bigelow. Justin Mark Biggs. Allison Victoria Biss. Kellen Lewis Bixler. Victoria Elizabeth Blake. Gabriel Paul Blaylock. Nathan Paul Blanky. Ethan Christopher Bledsoe. Julia Susanna Blumenshine. Jennifer Marie Bober. Avinash Bamakanti. Sean Andrew Boyer Coppins. Dylan Thomas Bradley. Kelsey Suzanne Brooks. Brianna Lynn Brown. Erica Marie Brown. Kaya Christina Brown. Zoe Clark Bucci. Emily Ann Burrell. Emily Caroline Butler. Christopher Lee Cady. Aaron Michael Calverley. Jacob Ray Cantrell. Aoife Rose Lee Carey. Chesney Eileen Carey. Jennifer Anne Marie Carlton. Aaron Tremaine Chapman. Yori Chung. Erica Elaine Amy Clark.
Kyle William Clark. Matthew Mark Frank Clark. Kelsey Renee Klein. Taylor Nicole Cochran. Erica Paige Collin. Austin James Comiskey. Taylor Ann Marie Conley. Tyler Leela Jane Conley. Emmett Lee Cookenmaster. Timothy Michael Cooper. Heaven Lee Cozy. Christian Thomas Kuzar. Kayla Sue Coy. Mariah Corinne Crampton. Adam Christopher Crane. A.C. Crane. Kenneth Michael Craven. Katie Ann Cronkright. Michaela K. Cross. Erin Elizabeth Docksteiner. Jillian Rose Dawson. Katie Ann Dawson. Benton Paul DeGroot. Tyler Lee DeYoung. Joshua Robert DeShane. Lauren Grace DeShano. Ashley Darlene Dewey. Alexis Paige DiBenedetto. Elliot James Diggison. Zachary Thomas Duford. Ashley Elizabeth Dull. Zoe Elizabeth Dull. Zachary Thomas Dunlap. Jessica Marie Durfee. Sydney Lynn Ecker. Janae Rose Eddy. Mark Allen Eddy. Stephen Ronald Elmer. Mark James Emmendorfer. Kelsey Eileen Ennis. Autumn Shea Enzer. Shelby Lynn Ernst. Micah James Edelmacki. Amy Elizabeth Felsky. Rose Marie Ferguson. Shane Otto Fick. Leah Beth Fillmore. Samantha May Finch.
Grace Elaine Finney. Hannah Marie Fisher. Pauline Flamian. Caitlin Emily Flavin. Nathan Ryan Fora. David Joseph Frank. Grace Helene Freeman. Ryan Hunter Fullwood. Colin Dean Gagne. Stephanie Marie Jeziquel. Laura Elise Gillings. Adam Kenneth Goodwin. Alex Nathaniel Goodwin. Amanda Marie Gordon. Allison Noel Gorton. James Allen Grachek. Philip Ryan Graham. Samantha Jo Gregg. Jameson Andrew Greshaw. Leah Sherry Grinwis. Catherine Marie Francis Guthrie. Amanda Jo Heiderer. Emmanuel Clayton Hall. Alexandra Marie Ham. Brady Lawrence Harbron. Jacob Michael Heinig. Laura Elizabeth Heinrich. Nathan Allen Henriquez. Jeremiah Christopher Hersberg. Brianna Nicole Hyatt. James Arnold Hignite. Dylan Paul Height. Colin Michael Hogue. Emily Catherine Holman. Gretchen Elizabeth Holzauer. Jared Dean Hovick. Lauren Elaine Hufford. Stephanie Marie Hutchinson. Abigail Kate Hutter. Miranda Lee Irwin. Darian Nicole Ives. Marissa K. Jackins. Derek David Jacob. Musab Jawed. Sidra Jawed. Samantha Sue Jayo. Jennifer Lynn Jenkins. Abby Michelle Jennerson. John Benjamin Johnsey. Alec Angelo Johnson. Lauren Ray Johnston. Dallin Kent Jones. Megan Ashley Jones.
John Forrest Kasmerick. Ryan Troca Kantak. Ian Patrick K. Nicholas Gerald Keel. Madison Nicole Kelsey. Eric Joseph Kent. Jacob John Kenyon. Victoria Lynn Curlin. Caitlin Sue Kiefer. Nicholas Miles Kilbreth. Hejun Kim. Austin Kendall King. Caitlin Marie Klein. Nathan Lee Klopfenstein. Sylvia Clausen. Shelby Laura Konitzer. Haley Rose Konechka. Spencer James Copey. Kathleen Elizabeth Kramer. Marissa Ann Kraut. Chad Randall Kruzaniak. Evan Scott Kuhn. Nikita Lynn Lesperance. Christian Anthony Lambert. Samantha Nicole LaPan. Dawn Marie LeBeau. Quinn Michael Lyons. Julianne Lido. Danielle Joy Lewis. Stephen McLean Lindsley. Catherine Ann Linkert. Sapphire Dawn Lohr. Catherine Louise Longoria. Matthew Ryan Lopez. Kaylee Ann Lowry. Michael Emmett Lowry. Anna Marie Lunsford. John David Lynch. Anna Grace McDonald. Caroline Maria Mayday. Logan Scott Medill. Cody Lee Meyer. Sarah Jane Mackey. Brandon Gerald Mailport. Emily Jean Marinan. Alexander David Markey. Gregory Basil Marsh. Dylan Parker Matthews. Edward Joseph Maxwell. Kara Elizabeth May. Nicholas Kelsey McCann.
Drake James McClendon. Mandy Mae McDonald. Anna Valentine Scott McGee. Anna McGee. Anna Valentine McGee. Everyone, give her a round of applause. Woo! Okay, Zachary Scott McKenna. Patrick Thomas McMullen. Caitlin Marie McPhillips. Courtney Rose McPhillips. Caitlin Olivia Melton. Stephanie Ann Mendyke. Lorraine Nicole Maris. Mariah Denise Myers. Leisha Lynn Malin. Kimberly Shea Miles. Justine Navarre Miller. Nicholas John Miller. Cody Lee Miser. Carlos Jacob Moore. Emma Kathleen Moore. Zachary James Moquin. Ricardo Morera. Joshua Paul Mosler. Haley Ray Moulton. Courtney Carla Mueller. Brandon Thomas Murphy. Shannon Elaine Murphy. Scott Daniel Naples. Maxime Gregory Narker. Charles Henry Nessel. Nathaniel James Sinisto. Taylor J. Northrup. Evan Tyler Novak. Bernard James Nowak. Marissa Nicole Nowak. David Matthew O'Keefe. Travis Connor Ogden. James Samuel Orlando. Catherine Renee Ortega, Audrey Jane Ortiz, Emily Veronica Ortiz, Dalton Jeffrey Pangborn, Bradley Thompson Pankow, Forrest Dean Parsh, Travis Edward Patton, Cody Edmund Pedler, Zoe Virginia Peeler, Chase Michael Pendred, Caitlin Ann Perry, Stanley Peter, Andrew Griffin Peters, Kyle Douglas Petzold, Alexia Nicole Planner, Kelsey May Pohl, Jordan Taylor Poland.
Carly Jane Collins, Grace Hannah Potter, Samuel Wire Posnack, Casey Galan Proctor, Evan Nathaniel Pulsifer, Mark Anthony Quinones, Daniel James Radler, Trevor Michael Rates, Kevin Lamar Redfern, Elena Marie Reed, Jacob Kyle Richard, Austin James Roberts, Abigail Janae Edwards Robertson, Taylor Cheyenne Robertson, Megan Elizabeth Rocklitz, Tanner Locke Rogers, Ashley Nicole Roman, Michael Daniel Roof, Robert John Ross, Ronald Chase Rossman, Joseph David Ryan, Alexander Michael Salter, Megan Elizabeth Sanborn, Allison Beth Sanford, Tyler Joseph Sauve, Lacey Marie Sherrick, Callie Ann Sloman, Kayla May Schneider, Taylor Lane Schneider, Benjamin David Logan Schulte, Carson Michael Scudder, Eleanor Bischoff Skiva, Anne Riley Seeberger, Cameron Scott Short, Mackenzie Lynn Simmons, Rachel Elizabeth Sinclair, Ryan Lee Singer, Joshua Paul Skelly, Rebecca Lynn Skim, Tyler Jason Slater, Natalie Marie Sloggett, Haley Jean Smith, Kayla Ellis Smith, Nicholas James Smith, Samantha Ann Smith, Thomas Benjamin Smith, Travis Scott Smith, Sir Marshall Slade Snyder III, Matthew Todd Summers, Tyler Zachary Souls,
Brianna Lynn Spencer, Jacob Edward Spenrath, Philip John Steinbrunner, Samantha Ann Stevens, Carter John Stoll, Ryan Michael Sugnet, Emily Twilliger Swersben, Nicole Christine Sipnowski, David Allen Tascarella, Alicia Walta Tate, Kelsey Ellen Taylor, Bryce Michael Tendler, Taylor Ray Twilliger, Terrence Thomas, Cassandra Marie Thrasher, Chase Daniel Toland, Morgan Ashley Townsend, Grant Douglas Trebilcock, Jennifer Louise Tripp, Stephen Frederick Trombley, Justine Elizabeth Tuma, Devin Parker Valco-Dib, Michael John Van Wy III, Sarah Ruth Van Beber, Louis R. Vargas Jr., Matthew Trier Vaught, Isabella Marie View, Taylor Ann Van Eitsen, Jessica Lee Wade, Kyle James Wagner, Charles Robert Wakeman, Lisa May Wallach, Andrew Paul Wandor, David John Warner, Samuel Lawrence Warren, Sarah Jean Warren, Elizabeth Lynn Waskovich, Adam Paul Weckel. Darian Olivia Weir. Tanner Jeffrey Welch. Andrew Patrick Welter. Lauren Renee Wenban. Maya Zindra Went. Mackenzie Lair Whittlesey. Alexandra K. White. Teresa Hope Weaver. Anna Marie Elizabeth Williams. Jennifer Ann Wantorsick. Callie Sue Wright. Michael Dane Wright. Benjamin David Yates. Hannah Rose Zablocki.
Good evening and congratulations, graduates. My name is Dylan Matthews, and I've had the privilege of serving as Student Council President for the class of 2013. It is with great honor that I'm able to stand before you tonight in recognition of the accomplishments of our class. I'd like to take this time yet again to thank those who stuck with us through it all over these past 12 years, our family. I'd like to thank the parents, especially mine, who were always there to give us some friendly encouragement to persevere and do our best, even when we may not have wanted to. So students, let's give it up for our parents. I also want to thank the teachers here at Midland High, like our speaker, Mr. Mulvaney, and also our principal, Mrs. Greif, for their willingness to invest in our lives over these 4 years, and also for their willingness to help us excel, not only as students, but as human beings. So again, students, let's thank the teachers. And most of all, I want to thank you guys, the class of 2013. The memories and friendships that we have built here together at Midland High will truly last us a lifetime. As we move on to the next chapter in our lives, let us look back upon and cherish the memories that we have made here. Though our high school journey ends tonight, tomorrow begins a new season. So whether you're heading off to college this fall, taking a year off, joining the military, or going straight into the workforce, know that God has a plan for each of us. Plans to prosper us and not to harm us. Plans to give us a hope and a future. And it is now simply our job to take the things that we have learned over the past 12 years and use them to excel in the years ahead. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The turning of the tassel traditionally represents the shift in our lives as we now move from being high school students to high school graduates. So, Midland High, class of 2013, would you please rise? This is it, the last thing that we'll do together as a class. I love you guys. Just remember, once a chemic, always a chemic. Congratulations.